right, guys, welcome back. Emily Saves America. Subscribe, YouTube, Rumble, follow on Instagram, always, TikTok, before they delete me, X, and hit the notification bell. Breaking news today, by the way, guys, Tim Walz has dropped out. Dropped out, was he running for president? He dropped out of his current position as governor, which would pretty much, in my opinion, admit fraud. Usually people don't drop out of positions because they are clean and did the right thing. So it looks a little shady, doesn't it? We've got a lot to cover. Maduro being captured by Trump, Somali daycare fraud updates, and Mamdani sworn in as the new mayor of New York City. Good luck, guys. We have something positive to start the day, especially after the holidays when all of us are looking a little round in the face. We have a video of a woman on a flight to Dubai. She got her CPAP machine. I went to Arizona and had to pay $135 because my bag was 5 pounds overweight. Like, my bag of makeup is going to make the plane go down. Meanwhile, this somehow, it looks like they each had to buy 2 or 3 seats. Do you ever think when you have to have a breathing machine on, maybe there's a problem? Maybe you've gone too far. How about that?
How about that?
But anyways, this is why health insurance is so expensive. I'm not gonna lie. How is this a flight to Dubai and there's like no one on it? Are they like in business? How are you fat but you can afford business? Crazy. I don't know. You know what? They could actually be going on my 600-pound life. And I know that they do film you for free, but they pay for all your surgeries because I'm quite the expert in the show. We have Nicolás Maduro on the USS Iwo Jima in handcuffs. Pick goes hard. Pick goes hard. This looks like a $0 Dark 30 pick. I like it. I've already seen every... I swear, we're like the most unserious people in the world. I've already seen everyone Photoshop. Someone Photoshopped an Air One bottle in his hands. And I was like, we're so retarded. I can't. But I was like, it's a great pick. It's a great pick. Don't know what to say. Not a good guy. Unless you're a liberal and a Democrat. Then apparently he's actually an amazing guy. We have Venezuela's decline since Maduro's been in office. And even before that. So the gist of it is they democratically elected someone. That guy was in office. And then this guy came in who's just like the cartel drug lord and just took that guy out and just put himself in. And then ever since he's been in, it's been all downhill since then. And you see a lot of people in America crying. They say their family members back there have been killed. A lot of people have died. I assume, you know, when you have people like that running, yeah, they kill a lot of people. Anytime you go against them, it's like a lot of the regimes that still go on currently across the world, they just kill you. So wasn't doing too great there, okay? Democrats had a lot to say about Venezuela until Trump went and actually did something. And we have a video of the Democrats used to call Trump America's Maduro.
Just look at what's going on in Venezuela. Maduro, who is what Donald Trump wants to be.
Oh.
He wants to be the kind of guy that doesn't matter whether you win or lose, you get to stay in power. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. And Maduro is staying in power by blowing up the rule of law in Venezuela and co-opting the military for his political purposes. That's what Donald Trump is capable of, and that is not American. That is not American in any shape or form.
Well, that aged well. He's dying to be him so bad, he went in the middle of the night, captured him, and took him out of power, and as I assume, arresting him. That's what we're doing. Ilhan Omar blames the USA for Venezuela's dire state, naturally.
A lot of the policies that we have put in place has kind of helped lead the devastation in Venezuela. And we've sort of set the stage for where we are arriving today. This particular bullying and the use of sanctions to eventually intervene and make regime change really does not help the people of countries like Venezuela, and it certainly does not help, and it's not in the interest of the United States.
What she said, like, what, our tariffs are the reason Venezuela's in, like, a complete state of dire? Like, I don't understand what... it's crazy how somehow they can blame the United States for quite, and white people, of course, for quite literally everything. But I'm like, you guys, it was absolutely on my bingo card that Democrats were somehow going to defend a literal dictator. Keep in mind, we just had the No Kings protest. This guy's ruling like a literal king. killing people and also turning the country into literally a hellscape. But once again, it's because America's going, look, I will admit America does go in and things up a lot. Did Iraq go well? Did a lot of the wars in the Middle East go well? Have we destabilized? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not even denying any of that. But I'm like, we didn't have a lot to do with what was going on over there. And by the way, we were the only ones to fix it. So why, instead of critiquing America, are you not going, you know what, that was great, and thank God when people are celebrating something all over the world, except for some of the loser countries. I think Paris was like, we don't agree with what he did. I'm like, your people are getting stabbed in. So that's great. Why don't you focus on your situation, Paris, and maybe not this? But it's like, yeah, of course it's a win. If Trump found the cure for cancer, liberals they would not take it. They would not take it. Truly, if Trump was like controlled air, they would suffocate and die. You just have to accept it at this point. And also, all the protests you've seen, they're so organized. It's like, how is it that somehow every time think about like a normal person who's not wealthy, how much shit they have going on in their lives just to maintain a shitty life in America at this point. Do you really think anytime something political happens, it's not completely organized? Somehow they're out on the streets, they got their signs, they're doing interviews. I'm like, of course, they're getting their $100 a day to go do that. And I'm like, it's become just cosplay at this point. And we know that it's funded by Soros and all these people, and it's kind of crazy to see. Trump sends warning to Europe to not give in to immigration or else they will lose their heritage and country, and he is correct.
I've been right about everything. And I'm telling you that if you don't get away from the green energy scam, your country is going to fail. And if you don't stop people that you've never seen before, that you have nothing in common with, your country is going to fail. I'm the president of the United States, but I worry about Europe. I love Europe. I love the people of Europe. And I hate to see it being devastated by energy and immigration. This double-tailed monster destroys everything in its wake, and they cannot let that happen any longer. You're doing it because you want to be nice.
No, kind of true.
Politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage. They must take control strongly and immediately of the unmitigated immigration disaster and the fake energy.
Well, yeah, we all know that anything related to the climate is 100% a scam. The Democrats have been saying for how long, oh, we're all going to be dead. The water levels are rising. But then Obama buys like a $150 million house on the ocean. And it's like, you guys, they wouldn't be buying those things if they really believe that. And then, of course, it's like Democrats every year, give us money and we're going to save the planet. And, you know, we're going to have lithium batteries and slaves are going to mine for them. And somehow everything's going to be better, which is funny because a lot of the things they do really damage the planet. And I think Republicans can even do better on that. But technically, as conservatives, we should want to conserve the environment as well. But everything he's saying is true. And it's nice not only to care about this country, but we should care about other countries when they're similar to us, which the K used to before the most popular name was Muhammad. And, you know, we should, and everything he's saying is right. It's like you're giving away your country and your heritage. And also on top of that, you're not able to practice your religion, which is the majority of your country, but they're able to pray on the street, which, by the way, they don't need to pray on the street. They do it to show dominance, to show that they've taken over. Yet we're arresting, you know, little white girls for saying, you know, praying in front of abortion clinics and putting grandmas in jail who are, you know, praying in front of churches out loud or whatever they're doing. It's to show dominance. It's to be like, we're here and we've taken over. Hungary reveals the reason migration is allowed in Europe.
The migration issue is so complicated. Legally, it's very simple, you know. To cross the border line without a permission is a crime. Full point, it's over. The problem is that migration is a concept of changing the society as such.
Yeah.
It's a kind of replacement of the original native-born voters with somebody else. And this is, you know, without being involved into any conspiracy theory, this is a well-detailed plan of the left. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because, okay, my understanding of the history is probably not as sophisticated as yours, but if I understand correctly, the last 150 years of the European, including UK anyway, mm-hmm. The European politics, it's about a competition of two tribes. One is those who think that we should stay in the traditional frame and value system of Europe as it was. Nation, freedom, Christianity, that's all.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. We've talked about this. It's the great replacement theory. It's replacing pretty much, it's happening in all white Christian nations. It's happening here in the UK. And yeah, they're replacing us with third world people. They import. But you know what's crazy? And it's just like, what's the point in all of this? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I'm like, who does this benefit? Because all of our countries are turning into shitholes. The crime's going up, the going up. We have, there's so much fraud in our elections. You can't trust those anymore. The people don't assimilate. They come here and they're stealing. The fraud is insane. And I'm like, genuinely at this point, I would love to ask someone on the left, give me one positive of immigration. Truly, one positive. And it's like, oh, they're going to point out, like, who are they going to use? Elon Musk? Elon Musk is not like these people. Seriously, like, he's not one of that. I'm talking about just a normal middle-aged brown person from a country. Even the women and then the children the Somalian children, like, name one benefit as a white Christian in a supposed to be white Christian nation. How does that benefit us? Crazy. I could go a lot of places and I would benefit them because I would go contribute and I would assimilate and work the same way I used to have to go to Paris and they were like, know the language or off. But I don't know how Paris has become so drastically different because I wasn't there that long ago. So I don't understand anymore besides the great replacement theory, which is about 144 pages and you can go read it and it's very real. Somali daycare fraud updates. I hope this doesn't stop. I love these.
CNN is looking into Shirley's claims.
Hi, my name's Whitney Wild. I'm a correspondent for CNN.
We reached out to several of the daycares featured in the now viral video. Only one daycare facility answered and said they are a legitimate business.
Have you
seen
we're good, that the videos, purporting that some of these daycares don't have kids inside?
Minnesota Republicans say despite the new focus from the Trump administration, they have been sounding the alarm on fraud for years.
We have talked about fraud. We have gotten stories. We've tried to push this forward every way that we can.
At the daycare where Shirley showed back up, a stream of children walk inside.
You're saying that this is a fraudulent daycare. There's kids being dropped off right now.
Yes. The Commissioner of Children literally said a week ago this place was closed. Did you know They're showing face right now.
A viral video.
Why are they arguing with him?
And their full fallout remains to be seen.
I love how CNN's reporting is just them grilling Nick like he's done anything wrong. By the way, I love watching Democrats online being like, oh, bro's a little weird. Bro's a little weird for going to daycares and demanding to see children. Okay, why don't you go back to, what is it, Sky Blue, your like pedophile Twitter app? I'm like, you guys, out of everyone in the world, please do not say we are weird. He's literally exposing fraud. How else is he supposed to do it? But I like how CNN is like, well, first of all, they're kind of admitting fraud. They're like, well, we called 40 places, one answered. Okay, so what would you guys pull out of that situation? And then they go, well, one answered and said they weren't doing anything wrong. And I'm like, God, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, what? Really? I can do better work than CNN. I was like, we can print all these out and I can sit here we can live stream and call them for 6 hours if this is the lengths that CNN is going to go to. I love who's watching this and it's like, well, you know what? I believe it. They said the criminals said they weren't doing anything wrong. So here we are. It's kind of like the liberal judges when they released the black guy for the 30th time, who's probably like, well, I'm not going to do anything wrong this time before I stab someone. Craigslist ad seeking child actors for you guys, come on. What do you want from me here? A Craigslist ad seeking child actors for a daycare has been discovered with the poster requesting 20 children to act as clients while the state observes them to determine whether it's a legitimate daycare. Need I say more? I mean, there you go. There you go, guys. Also, it's so funny because all the businesses look so shady. They have like no windows. They're all like borderline boarded up. They're like, oh, well, we don't go through the back. We don't go through the front. We go through the back door. Half of them look like prisons from the outside. There's no lights on. It looks like homes with no one in it. And I'm like, in general, it looks shady. But now that's why there was and then they said the business was shut down. But then there's a video of them saying, or a video of them showing that kids are walking in. And I'm like, okay, so what did I get from all this? That they literally, I mean, dude, the Somalians are literally, they put a Craigslist ad up and we're like, hey, we need kids to pretend that we're legit. So quality leering right there. Oh, never gets old. Somali. Oh, these are my favorite videos. A Somali woman slips up when addressing the press in Minnesota. They're really stupid as a group of people. It's actually kind of crazy.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
What? I wish I was in the audience. I'd be like, oh! What the was that? What is that? Was this like a AA meeting? I'm so confused. She literally was reading, first of all, she's reading a script and legitimately was like, fraud is bad. She was like, oh, and they were like, no, honey, it's okay. That's a hard script. What's the IQ? The IQ they said is around 67. There's no way it's that high. By the way, she's wearing like a sparkly hijab, and when she went like this, she had a diamond ring on. So I just want you guys to know that that's literally, yeah, that's doing pretty well, right? Somalis doing pretty well. So that was a up. What was the script? The script says fraud is bad. Like, what was what was she supposed to say? What's with the chick looks like from The Incredibles in the background to the right? This is the weirdest group of people. What is it? Also, what are the signs for to stop? I like the signs are probably like, stop discriminating against Somalis for the fraud. And then she's like, it is bad to do fraud. I mean, Jesus Christ, you guys, at a certain point. Oh, and then a daycare activist, okay, slips up at the same press conference. You can't even make this shit up.
There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud. There is...
What?
The fraud that is occurring is not at the hands of families. We need to be looking at who's in power, who's making decisions, who's guarding the purse strings of our tax dollars, my tax dollars too, and making sure that children have...
You guys, if you're reading a script and you up, you don't go, ah! You don't do that. You don't go, oh, like what? It's like this is like acting. This is crazy. She's like, there is fraud. Oh, second time today. And then totally tried to backtrack it and keep going. You guys, it's so insulting to it. Look at her with the paper. Ah! I don't understand. That's so crazy. She's a daycare activist. Yeah, these have waiting lists years long. Well, is it because you don't answer the phones because no one's there because they're not real businesses? I mean, hey, she looks like she's eating well too. She's for sure in on the Somalian fraud. I mean, you got the sparkly hijab, you got a big ring. She looks like she's doing well. I'm telling you, if I was smart, first of all, I would take the effort and memorize the script, okay? Because it's so lazy. Because she's fat, so we know she's lazy already. But it's like, memorize the script, okay? And then go out there, look like shit. Why are you put together? I don't understand. I would have dirt and cuts on my face, and I'd be wearing some ripped up shirt. I'd be like, I swear we're just trying to get by. There's no fraud here. It's like, you look shady. How do you afford all the food? You got new sweaters on. You look dazzling. You got your nails done. You have diamond rings on. I mean, it's unbelievable. You guys, 2 slip-ups and the same slip-up at the same conference. Are you kidding me? Do you think someone wrote those scripts and they were like, oh, mother... Like, they were like, yeah, enjoy that, you stupid bitch. Like, I wonder if someone wrote that script on purpose because they knew about the fraud and they were like, and maybe they fired him or they up somehow. But I'm like, 2 slips, you guys. Still believe there's no fraud? They literally said it. They go, this is fraud. Fraud is bad. This, though, when you up, never do... Literally, just never do that, because that's really crazy. A woman in a hijab brags that while the fraud is being discovered, she too is busy becoming the doctor. Why do they all look the same? I can't tell the difference between any of them. Yeah, they are inbred. It looks like they're just copies of each other. Like, they just marry each other, have a kid, the kid marries another one as a kid, and it's just carbon copies every single time. I like how everyone's... Dude, all the memes are like, how'd you know I'm Somalian? And it's like a huge head. It's so funny. So she's, I assume, first of all, while they're busy gossiping, the government is investigating billions of fraud, sweetheart. little bit different than gossip. We're adding things like RN, blah, blah. I go, but you guys, 80% of you are on welfare. If we were talking about Indians and HB1s and all that, this might be true. A lot of them can be quite smart. But you're not adding anything. 80%, first of all, your IQ's borderline mentally. You're 80% of you are on welfare. You're inbred, which makes you more. Okay, we've already figured that out with the Pakistanis in the UK. And then on top of that, I'm like, you don't even have jobs. And now we know that the husband's marrying multiple of you, which is why we try not to allow that shit in America. You have the poly freaks on TLC. Them. They live in like the middle of nowhere. No one cares about them. But I'm like, you guys don't work. You're not contribute. You're stealing the money. You have multiple wives. You're on food stamps. And then you go and you take that, you redo it, you put it into the grocery stores. We've covered that on the last show if you're not paying attention. But I'm just like, oh, congrats. One of you managed to go to school. Great. And you're probably taking it away from some smart Asian kids. So also you. Black man's thoughts on immigrants.
Be online, making threats talking about, yeah, go to work. Yeah, do this, that, and the third. Working 50 hours a week. Why get benefits? And then you got the other damn somebody talking about, yeah, Trump not going to be around to see that we take it over. Let me tell you something right about now. All that damn trash talking, you better hush your damn mouth. You want to know why? Because we are not playing no damn games. And then at the same damn time, you talking about taking over. That is a declaration of war. That is really a threat to national security. Why? Because you are a foreigner. You are an immigrant in this country, really a refugee, and you over here running your damn mouth when you already are outmanned and outgunned.
Pop that cat.
You are not with the smoke, let me tell you. You do not want the smoke as an immigrant. You want to know why?
This is going to be the best war.
We got guns in the black community. Guns
we know.
in the white community.
We know.
Veterans in the black community.
This is the only time I'll support the guns in the black community.
Know about war and know about guns. And let me tell you something. Even though we might have our differences, but if it come down to us defending our country from anybody that's up there making a threat, let me tell you something. We will put all that aside and we will come together and defend. Let me tell you something. Stop running your damn mouth. That's one of the main.
You know what? It's funny because I always say this. Anytime there's a group in America that benefits greatly off of government programs, which tends to be illegals, Hispanics, and black people. I go, any new group that comes in that starts to take those benefits, they will hate and go to war with because they're taking them from them, which is look, at the end of the day, I'd rather I don't want any dollar or program going to an immigrant ever for any reason. I literally don't care what war-torn country they're fleeing. But that's the thing. It starts to affect people here, and then all of a sudden they start caring. I'm like, yeah, but a lot of these people vote Democrat because they want the handouts, but the Democrats are the ones that brought them all here, including Barack Obama. And I'm like, now you guys see, maybe you should switch to that conservative vote if you really want to conserve your money and your country, which I would hope we'd all be on the same page about with white liberals. We never will be. I mean, at that point, we've given up there. But I'm like, yeah, it will come back and bite you. It seems good for a short period of time, but it ruined the country in the long run. Jacob Frey says he's a little bit busy right now, but in a few months he'd like to visit Somalia. Great.
While I'm a little bit busy right now, a few months from now...
What a weird way to say that.
In the next year, I would very much like to visit Somalia.
Oh.
This has been something that I would like to do for quite a long time. But to be there with my friends, to be there together.
Yeah, your friends.
Walayal. My brothers and sisters. I'm learning.
Dude, investigate him. Are you kidding me? Why is he not in jail right now? If there's anyone who, besides Tim Walz, quite literally, if there's anyone that should have every three-letter agency so far up his asshole, it's literally this guy. A white guy who's standing there speaking Somali, being like, I love to go, I love my friends. You guys, are you joking? Obviously, he's in on the fraud and it's taken how much money? Investigate him! We're like, even the daycare centers, he's probably running all of them. I'm like, what the is this? This is very blatant. If there was billions of dollars in fraud going from here to China, and I hold a press conference with me and all my Chinese friends, and I'm speaking Chinese, you guys would probably put 2 and 2 together and be like, wow, she's clearly getting a kickback. Because y'all put it together when I go to Israel and Qatar. So why don't you put this together and shift that energy into that, okay? Over 40 daycare centers in Columbus, Ohio, all opened under the same shell organization, the Somali Education and Resource Center, have been identified as opening and beginning operations on the exact same day with combined earnings of $14 million, and that's in 2024 alone. So, seems a little sus, doesn't it? That's a lot of money. That's why I was like, when I listen to people, and I see like idiots on TikTok and they're like, dude, it's whatever. I care more about like our tax dollars going to Israel. Okay, this isn't like a couple $1 million. This is literally already most likely in the billions and going to go over that. And it's like, that's your money. Okay, look, what are we going to do about, hey, how much of our money has gone to Ukraine and all this and wars and all this bullshit? This is in our country. You can't stop your money going to those wars necessarily. You can vote in different people, or they're all going to go there anyways. Who gives a shit at this point? Just not my problem. Go kill them all. It doesn't matter anymore. But this is in your country. You could do the same way Nick Shirley can go to a daycare and investigate fraud and put it out there. And then look, all of a sudden, people are stepping down from their positions. People are all of a sudden retiring. And I'm like, it's very interesting, isn't it? God, a lot of money. A lot of money. If I wasn't so racist, I would have been friends with Somalians and I would have taken all this money as well. But unfortunately, I'm a better person. We have break-ins at the Somali daycare centers.
A Somali-run childcare named Mini Childcare Center shared
it's Somalians also breaking in
with us. They say someone tried to get inside after midnight.
Honestly, it's shocking. It's honestly really sad, and it makes me feel concerned for my own safety at this point.
Oh God, I'm so tired.
Filmed outside of Somali-run daycare centers claiming they were fraudulent. This childcare center was one of the centers in the video. Fox 9 visited the site and saw kids were at the childcare center.
Oh, well then it's all good then.
The manager tells Fox 9 kids go
this is, so by the way, wait. I was told by the Somalians, the people doing the fraud, that the cameras were down. They weren't working. There was a break-in, and they went and stole all their files. They want us to believe that the cameras were not working for some reason. Someone went in and stole all their files. You guys, do you know how stupid the stupid people think you are? That's very insulting. And then all of a sudden, what do you know? Cameras work, and we have footage of people trying to break in. Because you know what? When I used to be broke and thinking about robbing people or places, I would go, first thing first, a Somali daycare. And what are the odds that they just happen to get it perfectly on camera? And they're walking slow, they're covered. Wow, none of this was planned, you guys. Absolutely none of this. By the way, do you know how easy it is as a Somalian community to fake a daycare? You literally just take your kids there and put them there for the video opportunity. Like, I like, this is so easy. It's like actually kind of crazy. Like, who would be like, oh, well, then they're good. More Somali fraudsters got luxury digs, beachside resorts, rented Rolls Royce and Lamborghinis with stolen funds. Well, that's good. They really deserve it. I hope you guys feel good that this is why you work so hard, so you can give your tax dollars to these third world creatures that go and then just piss it on a bunch of dumb things. You know what's so funny? I'm like, this is why these communities stay poor. Like, what are they doing with all of it? They get Rolls Royce, Lamborghinis, diamond rings, sparkly hijabs. I'm like, yeah, I'm shocked you guys aren't doing well as other communities with higher IQs. It really blows my mind. President Trump shows a chart showing 72% of Somali households in the U.S. are on government welfare. Well, I guess they're not all becoming doctors and lawyers, are they? According to the one that was on TikTok. That's a lot. That shows that's a group of people that genuinely do not contribute and don't need to be in this country for any reason. So it's starting immigrant household. First of all, there shouldn't be any immigrant households. So let's just imagine if we wiped that chart, how much money we would have in this country because we wouldn't be drained of all of our resources like we are 24/7. I've not heard of like 90% of those places, by the way. I'm like, okay, the percentage of immigrants receiving assistance. First of all, if you come here as an immigrant, you need assistance, you got to go. We're not here as a handout to help you. I don't understand. And you know what? If I want to take all these programs, I want to shut them down. And if you are from a third world country or wherever the from, I don't give a shit, and you need assistance, you're going to go into a database where Democrats are going to take you and put them in your homes and pay for you. Okay? That's the amount of assistance we need. But I'm like, notice a lot of these I'm like, we have people here from Iraq. You can't trust them. Look at what they did. Haiti, Sudan, like we shouldn't have anyone from any of these countries. I'm like, Morocco. The Morocco population here is literally white women on 90 Day Fiance who bring them here to marry them, and then are shocked they cheat on them. By the way, what's the bottom? St. Kitts Nevis? Interesting. It's not good. A journalist in Washington visiting houses that act as daycare centers.
Oh yeah, I was trying to find the local daycares.
You already know about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
This is a licensed property. If you have a complaint, go to the state.
Okay, I was trying to find out if you guys are a daycare. I was just trying to see.
Well, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. If you want to know any questions, just go online.
They're all so shady looking.
No, there's
a lot of new cars.
So I'm just trying to ask you guys.
A lot of new cars outside.
I don't have to?
Do you have any questions?
I do. I have a question. I was just asking you.
I was like, that's a big, nice house.
Okay, you guys were listed on the website and a bunch of websites, so for daycares, so.
Oh, that's what it is. Then you don't need to go door to door.
It's yeah, no, you can. Yeah, I have. You can go door to door.
So if you have any questions, go call the Childcare check, and they'll give you whatever information that you need.
Okay, so you guys aren't a daycare then? They're not a public daycare, right?
That's what I'm saying. They're running these things out of their houses, and then people are showing up to the houses, and they're like telling them to get and I'm like, hey, so let me get this straight. First of all, big house. Let's point that out. All new cars outside. You don't see anything that looks like children would be inside. You don't see anything to play with, strollers, bikes, anything that we had growing up as normal kids. And then doesn't seem like there's any kids inside. And then the second we show up, they're always shady, peeping through the door. And then, yeah, we're just told to off every single time. Oh, you have an issue? You go call so-and-so. I don't know why you guys thought I was playing when I said I would break that down. I said, I'm not going over there because I don't want to go to jail because I know I'm not going to last in it. Okay. It's very clear. But I was like, I would be doing some serious damage to these doors. Child daycare in Utah is only open for 15 minutes every day. This is like my dream business. All right. This is a real sign? Is this real? It's open from 6 a.m. to... First of all, that's insanely early. Second of all, it's open 15 minutes a day. Oh, it's a government website, though. It's .govs, which means it's legit. The Coffee Musa Deba Nuba. That can't be a daycare in America. If I can't pronounce it, that's not good, you guys. Which receives tax dollars and says they cater to kids who speak Arabic. Well, the little should only speak English. Is only open from 6 a.m. to 6:15 a.m. A 15-minute daycare. Oh my God, you guys, the comments on these are always so funny. I'm so glad the average American, no matter what race at this point, is so over this shit. I'm like, because the one thing we can come together on in America is hate. We are never again going to be bound by love. That shit, after those planes hit the towers, we were okay for like an hour. And then after, it's just, that's never going to happen again. We're never coming. All we can bond on is how much we hate other people. We can pretty much only bond on racism at this point. That actually was maybe the thing that always united us. And then the Democrats took that away. And then look what happened to the country. It's became hell. Our lives have become hell. ABC News reporter reports that Trump is placing new restrictions on childcare funds across the U.S. Thank you, Trump.
Tonight, a stunning move by the Trump administration. The Department of Health and Human Services says it will place new restrictions on billions of dollars in federal child.
Well, maybe we should have those before.
For every state in the U.S. The sweeping decision comes amid allegations of fraud in Minnesota.
Allegations, by the way.
ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Not facts.
Tonight, the Trump administration abruptly announcing new restrictions on billions of dollars in childcare funding for all states in response to what officials allege is widespread fraud in Minnesota.
We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon
You
millions
think?
of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
The Department of Health and Human
Yeah,
Services
it took Nick Shirley coming in to really open these cases up.
grants distributed coast to coast by the Administration for Children and Families.
I was thinking, should we call? I was like, should we on when I'm back on Wednesday? I think we should call some of them.
For being distributed, according to HHS.
We could just get a list of all of them and just call them.
Minnesota alone.
There are a lot of very scared and confused, both families and providers.
Can I make threats over the phone, or is that not okay? No?
Accusing
Okay.
President Trump of politicizing the issue to defund
Except you piece of shit, Somalian. Where the kids?
Also writing, we've spent years cracking down on fraudsters. Trump calling
Yeah.
Walz a crooked government.
Those kids.
State authorities and lawmakers have investigated
They're
fraud
not
in
even real. You
Minnesota
didn't let
daycares
Jimmy
for
in.
years, dating
Or
back to
Timmy,
at
whatever
least
his name was.
2019. But Republican leaders, including
You know what's really funny is it's crazy. It's funny to defend this, to be like, no, I don't want Trump cracking down on all the fraud in daycare. It's like, dude, that's an evil way to do fraud as well. I prefer when it was just the wars we were in. I thought that was actually a better way to go about it. We have a black woman saying that we need to take white people out.
I think that all of us can sort of agree that a politics that says like there are superior and inferior human beings just isn't the way to go. And that's the thing that white people don't trust us to do, because they are so corrupt. Their thinking is so morally and spiritually bankrupt about power that they can't they fear viscerally, existentially letting go of power, because they cannot imagine that there's another way to be. It is either that you dominate or you are dominated. And isn't it sad that is spiritually who they are, and that they can't imagine a sort of more expansive notion of the world? The thing I want to say to you is we got to take these out. But we can't say that, right? We can't say I don't believe in a project of violence. I truly don't, because I think in the end that our souls suffer from that. And I
don't condone violence, but we should kill all white people.
Is where I land most days about white people.
No, that's where she is most days on the situation.
Thinking about indigenous people, right? See, part of the challenge around whiteness is that it totally skews our view of everything, right? I gave this TED talk about this some years back, and one of the reasons I was trying to think about it.
A TED talk?
The world didn't start when white people arrived in America and tried to tell all the rest of us how things were going.
Oh, we literally created the world. That is how it started.
Out here making worlds. Africans and indigenous people being brilliant, and libraries and inventions.
You can't even build real estate.
Notions of humanity and cross-cultural exchange long before
that's white Africans that built that.
Terrible and trying to take everything from everybody.
Africans built libraries? That's the only place y'all don't steal from. That's like when BLM happened, the only place, don't lock up the books. Don't even lock the library. They're not going in there. Okay? That's why it's CVS. God forbid it's like anything a normal person would use. It's not locked up. This whole thing of we built it. I'm like, it's not even built today. I don't understand. You see, what is that? I am racist in that while she goes to African countries, they're literally, they're like Neanderthals. I don't even understand why this is a conversation. First of all, who is she talking to? And what is this for? So she's a teacher, by the way. And I'm like, is this her podcast? Does she release this? And I'm like, what's so funny is the obsession with white people when you're black, is so weird to me. It's I get obsessed for my literal safety because I'm terrified, but it's you're just obsessed with us in a way that I'm just what is it? What is it? Is it because you're fat and you're ugly and you're pretty much bald? You look like shit. Your life probably sucks. So you're instead of taking any of this into my own hands and getting a wig, dieting, getting some plastic surgery, which would make you look better. You would be, and you'd have a better life. It's instead of all that, it's who's the easiest thing to hate and somehow acceptable? White people. If I was first of all, this is a teacher who works around white students and white people. So I don't understand. Do y'all just sit around her and you're just okay with that? She literally was well, violence isn't the answer, but this is how I think. And I think this 24/7, we should just kill all white people. Imagine if I was a teacher, even in my position as, I don't know, a podcaster, political commentator, if I was we should just kill black people. Like, it's not good, but it is what I think. And I do think it like 5 out of 7 days a week. Like, we should just Black people. No, like, I'm just saying, like this isn't even like news, you guys. Like, we have to go out of our way to find these things because they're so comfortable. Like, imagine being able to say that and knowing that you can get away with it because you're around white people who have made everything in this world possible for you, who have allowed you to talk shit like this around us because we're not really inherently violent people. Can't really say the same about another group, a lot of groups of people. But I'm like, that's, you know what's so funny about the N-word? How gay of a society do we become that you were getting canceled and you could like lose your job for saying the N-word? It's a literal word. If you're offended by a word, how do I say this? You should walk into in front of a like, genuinely. I really don't understand the fact, like, there should pretty much be like no consequences at this point for it. Because, like, what does it matter? It's like, I have to sit there at lunch while 2 Black guys are calling themselves the N-word. You get to make millions of billions of dollars off of rap music for saying the N-word. And, like, I don't understand. She can literally be like, let's kill all white people. And also, I like this whole thing of it's generalizations. She literally generalized an entire race of people around the world, not even just in the United States, or saying and I've been told this for so long now, we are inherently evil. According to them, we're inherently violent. The statistics don't add up on their side. And we're just bad. And we just love money and we just want to conquer and all those things. I'm like, well, I know, God forbid you get a job and win something in your life. I know that's a concept you guys aren't that. You know, it's so funny because everything she has literally been handed to her by white people and DEI. If she was around a bunch of other Black people, she wouldn't be successful. That's the funniest part of it. But I'm like, we've gotten so cocked as a society and country that I'm like, you should be able to say any word you want. Okay? Any slur you want. Call me every slur in the book. Call him a Jew, a spick. But I'm like, the N-word should be on the same level as that. Why? You know what's so funny is I love this argument. I go, why do you guys think people don't say it? Because they're scared. And I go, why would they be scared to say a word? Oh, because the people they say it to are inherently violent and will assault you. I was never scared. I was like, oh, the only reason anyone's scared to say it is because a Black person will literally beat the shit out of you. Like that, the irony of being like, it's such a bad word, it's really degrading. No, it's just because, you know, you'll get beat up by a Black person because they will immediately be violent with you because they're violent all the time because they hate us. But here's my thing. Why don't you move around other Black people? Because you wouldn't be able to do this. You wouldn't be able to do the DEI and the bullshit and steal all of our money and tell us we're pieces of shit while you get every benefit. You wouldn't have the privilege of being able to say things like this and keep your job. Like, honestly, as a social experiment, when I'm out, I'll just say that I believe the same thing, and we'll see what happens to me. We'll see how far I get to go in society. I really hate, like, we hate these people. Not all Black people, but I hate her, and she's a piece of shit and shouldn't have a job. And I'm like, I want to find out her information. I'm gonna invite her on the show, and I'm gonna be like, no, let's really get down to it, okay? Because Scott Adams really was on par with everything he was saying, and it's at the point where I'm like, we shouldn't allow this in the country anymore. We really shouldn't. I could do 6 hours on really my thoughts and opinions on this. It's crazy for me to see. It is crazy. You know what's funny too? I like how anything happens to a Black person, it's front page news and it's a hate crime, but you can literally be like, die, white bitch, die. And you know, white people are the only group, there's no such thing as hate crimes for us. What if you're gay? I'm like, what is a hate crime? If you're doing a crime, it's hateful. So how come the only people that don't have the benefit of like extra sentencing and all these things are white people? Especially you have that kid like Austin Metcalf, or what was his name? That got like stabbed for like telling the Black kid to move. Okay, so was that labeled as a hate crime? No. But if I were to punch her fat ass in the face, it would be a hate crime. And that's crazy. And I'm so sick of living around these people. Genuinely, her fat, Black, fat, ugly ass. We have the video AOC introduces Zohran Mamdani as the next mayor of New York. Good luck, you get what you vote for.
It is the people of New York City who have chosen historic, ambitious leadership.
He's never had a job, by the way. First job.
And unprecedented times. New York, we have chosen courage over fear. We have chosen prosperity for the many over spoils for the few. Zohran Mamdani will be the first Muslim mayor of our great city.
Just every day is hell.
He will be our first immigrant mayor in over a century.
That sucks.
And he will be the youngest mayor of New York City in generations.
Let's put older people in charge who have like track records.
Most importantly, Zohran will be a mayor for all of us.
Zohran. Okay, I'm sorry. The glorification of his wife, like she's not busted as is the funniest thing ever. She literally looks like a ugly Persian girl that I used to be best friends with. She's busted. She has a horrible nose. She should get it done. And she's ugly, and we're not going to act like she's a style icon. She looks like every stupid bitch in Bushwick and Williamsburg. Be so real. You guys would glorify the fattest, ugliest person as long as they're a Democrat. I have to see so much on TikTok about, but then you'll shit on Melania, a supermodel, okay? And you'll be like, oh, she's not even that hot. She's busted, okay? She's busted. Next subject. He claims he ran as a Democrat socialist and he will run NYC as a Democrat socialist. Good luck, guys.
I was elected as a Democratic socialist and I will govern as a Democratic socialist.
God, when's Bernie just gonna keel over, bro?
I will not abandon my principles for fear of being deemed radical. As the great senator from Vermont once said, what's radical is a system which gives so much to so few and denies so many people the basic necessities of life.
Millionaire, multiple homes. There
we
you go.
will strive each day to ensure that no New Yorker is priced out of any one of those basic necessities. And throughout it all, we will, in the words of Jason Terrence Phillips, better known as Jadakiss or Jay to the moi,
this guy's so gay.
Be outside. Because this is a government of New York, by New York, and for New York.
By the way, that's a very small crowd.
We will govern expansively and audaciously. We may not always succeed, but never will we be accused of lacking the courage to try.
Imagine your first job is running New York.
The era of big government
Crazy.
is over.
Mine was Urban Outfitters.
Hear me when I say this. No longer will City Hall hesitate to use its power to improve New Yorkers' lives.
I would like to point out that I was at home, watching the news. The ball was dropping all around the world. Dubai crush, best fireworks by far. And I saw New York Post was like the first 10 seconds of New York, January 1st, someone got pushed onto the subway tracks and died. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, that's how New York started the new year. It was literally like, first death of the year. And it was somewhat just subway tracks. And I was like, awesome. We have Mamdani saying he will reduce the jail population and ensure New York courts release offenders faster. Dude, what the
of Rikers has increased since Eric Adams has come into office by more than 1,000 additional incarcerated New Yorkers.
That's nothing.
And what is quite staggering to me is that we know that we can reduce that jail population to less than 4,000. I mean,
why would you want to?
About a number of different proposals that could reduce it to 3,700. And some of this also just has to look at the average stay on Rikers in the 90s was 50 days. Now it's more than 100. There are more than 1,500 people on Rikers who have been held there for more than a year. So I do think many of the reforms that have to be made are also reforms around the court system and ensuring that people are actually having speech.
Well, why are you going to Rikers in the first place? You obviously did something wrong. If you do something wrong, I would like them to hold you as long as possible so you don't go right back into society and kill someone. So this is what he's prioritizing. Letting people out of jail. Oh, so we weren't around as Republicans when we were like, he's going to empty Rikers Island. Because I was saying that a lot, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm just exaggerating. But I'm like, No, he wants to reduce the jail population and let more people out so there will be more crime. So remember, Mamdani ran on free buses. Okay, you guys? That's one of the things he was running on. Socialism, free buses, free childcare. Everyone gets a house. And now New York City bus prices have gone up. So it went up to $3. So guess you guys, guess he lied. I don't know what to tell you. What was it before? It was, I thought maybe I had saw something that, I don't know. Well, look, either way, it went up. It's 3 now. You know what's kind of funny is like, everyone's like, it's such a good deal. I don't have to pay for a car payment, insurance. Like, look, I pay for those. It's very expensive. But I was like, I'd rather pay for that than get stabbed. So $3 seems like a good fair rate until you get stabbed. And then you're like, that wasn't as good of a deal. Yeah, so anyways, this is the first thing he did. So things are going really good for you guys, besides the person being pushed on the subway tracks in the first 10 seconds of the new year. And Mamdani's newly appointed tenant advocate director thinks home ownership and private property is white supremacy. God, you guys are going to bring the Klan back because I am becoming so radical and racist with these people. It is actually crazy. You know what's so funny? Democrats are the ones that always talk about like how racist America is and everyone makes everything about race. Everything around Democrats involves race. Race is the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that talks about. And it always includes hating an entire race of people, which is very interesting. Conservatives don't really talk about it unless it's relevant. It's like, hey, you're Somalian, like you're fraudulent. That's one thing. But we don't like make it a part of everything. She looks like that would be her job title. Before reading anything, I looked at her and was like, you can't trust ugly white women. Ugly white women are liberals and you cannot trust them. If you're a man, don't date them. They're the ones that me too you, okay? They're the ones you don't call back and all of a sudden you have accusations, okay? Because they're ugly and so they're going to make it everyone else's problem, okay? So she's like, private property, including especially home ownership, is a weapon of white supremacy masquerading as wealth building. She said that. It's just like Gumby. Crazy. Awful. She's probably one of those white women that just is letting all the immigrants in because she wants to get dicked down by one because no man wants to touch her because she's ugly and she's also stupid and terrible on top of it. So it makes sense. Property will soon become a collective good. Is this her?
I think the reality is that for centuries we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good. And we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity will require that we think about it differently. And it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that we currently have.
What happened to these people? I don't understand. You're white. You had white parents. Were you molested? Did they beat you every day? Did they put you under the staircase like Harry Potter? Like what wow, up were your parents that you became this and you're this horrible? I don't understand. There's no such thing as white guilt. You don't have to have it. You didn't choose your skin color. Neither did anyone else. I don't understand why people become like this. You know what's so funny, though? The second this bitch makes money, she's going to go buy a home. That's the funniest part about it. And I'm like, so let me see. We should share. Okay, so hey, why don't you open your apartment to an immigrant? Why don't you share your property and share your wealth? The second these people get money, they literally get away from poor people and they go buy property. Like AOC, she has like a townhome, like multiple townhomes, like Teslas and all this shit. And I'm like, this whole actually, society went downhill when we started building complexes and apartments. It used to be good when everyone had a small home or a big home, whatever their tax bracket was. But I'm like, it's like, do you work directly for BlackRock? Like, literally nothing good comes out of that. And it's so funny because It's like you only think that because of the position you're in now. That's why I'm like, dude, the second you get money or pay taxes, like you become a conservative. That's all normal people become. It's called growing the up. Democrat states are blocking no tax on tips. This is so funny because I'm watching all the people have meltdowns on TikTok because in a lot of these places, they survive off of tips. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought these were all for the working class people. Why would you ever vote to block that? And especially California. Oh, dude, California and New York, like that's where those people are surviving off of that. Well, good. They hate you guys. So wake up. I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing. We have Rama Duwanji's outfit. Mamdani's wife. Sorry.
The woman that you are. This isn't just a win for New Yorkers. This is a win for fashion girlies everywhere. New York City's first lady, Rama Dawaji, is showing up for weird art girls everywhere. I think it is so unbelievably chic that she has not adapted her personal style at all to this new position she's holding. I think what is so beautiful about
there's
her
no position. She's the wife.
They actually represent New Yorkers. New York has become a playground for the ultra rich, and they stand for
it's literally
what
filled
New
with
York is
immigrants.
actually about. Art, culture, diversity, style. A lot of women, when they find themselves in Rama's position, sacrifice their identity to service their husband. But instead of functioning as a political accessory to her husband, Rama has 100% retained all of her identity. If you look closely, I want
to on white women. I really do.
I've said in numerous videos that Victorian detailing and Gothic minimalism is going to be trending for this year, and she's just proving my point. Her first debut editorial.
She's so ugly.
This is what she chooses to wear. Rama Dawaji is proof positive that we are entering.
You know what's funny? If they put me on one of these, everyone would say how busted I am, and I'm just like, okay. You chose the white ugly Republican. You're acting like this bitch isn't busted. She looks like every girl in New York in every dive bar, vintage store, shitty cafe. Literally looks like all of them. I like how she hasn't adapted to her husband's position of power because she ain't got no job. That ain't her job. Same with Michelle Obama. It's like, why don't you shut the up? That's the best thing you can do because no one cares what you have to say. Also, they're like, she literally is just wearing black. She's literally wearing a black coat and black boots. She like, what is this? What is this like cuck obsession with white women to like just like glorify all other women? Like if she looked like Lizzo, she'd be doing the same thing. She'd be like, oh my God, she's a icon. And it's like she literally has a black coat on in New York. Like what is the obsession? By the way, this is why women shouldn't vote because they're she's like not even talking about anything political. She's like, this is what we needed, a style icon. And it's like, I actually hope you get by an immigrant. Like I actually really hope that happens to you. I hope you're one of the women that just gets in the face by some crazy black guy who's been released 35 times and your teeth get knocked out, because genuinely that is the only thing that maybe on this planet could slightly bring you back down to earth. Imagine if I was sitting here just talking about Melania's outfits. Like genuinely, like that is all you contributed to this. I'd be like, why don't you talk about some policies, sweetie? Hey, New York. Yeah, New York's running around with the ultra rich. They're not on the ground there anymore. They all left because it's a disgusting shithole with literal feces everywhere. New York's disgusting. LA has disgusting parts. New York in general is disgusting because you can live in a $45 million apartment, walk downstairs, and step over homeless people, which is insane. And yeah, you guys started the new year by a guy being shoved onto train tracks, so maybe focus on that. We have whatever this bitch's name is tearing up when Mamdani addressed her. Icon. It's just like she has Down syndrome in this. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand where you guys are coming from. I don't understand how you can say that I'm ugly and she is, the princess of Genovia all of a sudden. Like, it's actually crazy. She's crying because she realized how much money they're gonna funnel and how rich she's gonna be so she can go to her shitty vintage stores and be a icon in Brooklyn and Williamsburg, okay? Oh my God. So gross. So gross. You can't even pronounce her name. Okay. Chuck Schumer says our ultimate goal is to get it to a path where citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented immigrants there are.
The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal
all of them,
is to help the dreamers,
all the criminals, cartel,
all 11 million or however many undocumented there are.
Doesn't even care. He goes 11 million, 15 million. I don't care. Cartel, murderers, terrorists, we want them all. It's the only way we can be an amazing country, even though letting them in was the worst thing that ever happened. We can't get them out. The UK's destroyed. Germany's going down. Poland's the only one because they have the balls to be racist that's surviving. But yeah, we should just unlimited amounts. Let them all in. We need all of them. So Democrats can make more money and continue to attempt to steal more elections. A free-range CVS in the suburbs outside of New York City. Literally the people that voted for this, might I add. So they're excited because everything's not locked up. FYI, guys. Do you know how crazy it is to not realize the connection here? Well, first of all, you're in the suburbs outside of New York, so it's probably a different demographic racially, and that means you don't have to lock things up and live like shit. But it's like, you white liberal bitches literally voted for this, and then you realize when you leave how great things are, and then you wonder why everyone leaves the state. Mamdani opposed Trump on his move to remove Maduro, of course.
I called the president and spoke with him directly to register my opposition to this act and to make clear that it was an opposition based on being opposed to a pursuit of regime change, to the violation of federal international law, and a desire to see that be consistent each and every day.
Who the f*** asked you your opinion? You're the mayor of New York City. No, understand the chain of command, sweetheart. First of all, what? Did he speak to Trump? Because that line should go directly to voicemail, because who gives a... First of all, you've been in power for 12 hours, and the first thing you're going to do is call Trump to reprimand him on his incredible success. Know your place in this world, sir. That is... he should never be allowed to speak to Trump for any reason unless Trump is going there to kick his ass about some shit that's happening in New York City that he's up. But I'm like, oh, of course. Oh, the no kings people. Now we love the dictator. We weren't allowed to do that. Yeah, how much shit happened under Obama and Biden and all the other presidents that we weren't legally allowed to do. Hey, how about the border being open? Do you think that was legal? Yeah, no, it wasn't. So he should shut the up and know his place in this world. We have a trans dog.
Hi! Can you tell me about your dog?
This is Honey. He is a gay, gender-fluid, golden retriever Afghan hound mix.
Yes!
Oh my god. God, I feel so bad for the dog. I feel so bad. I want to know what her shirt says so bad. Pride belongs here. Is she homeless? I just feel so bad for the dog. I feel so bad. You guys, is this Target? Is this in LA? It looks like it would be in LA. Yeah, because it's a Hollywood Walk of Fame. I don't know. I just feel bad for the dog. What do you mean? It relates to sex. So it's like it has to do with sex. That's why it's weird. It's even creepy with the dog now. I don't feel safe with her with the dog. Because, she can't find a man. When you can't get a man, people resort to other options. Anyways, we will see you soon, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things.